In this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how you can build pounds of lean muscle without putting on extra body fat. And make sure and stay tuned to the end because I've got something really special I'm gonna give you absolutely free. Hey guys, Aaron Garza, founder here at Pureline Nutrition Company. It is November 2019 at the time of this video anyway, and it's getting super cold here. We're in Texas, right in the heart in San Antonio, and it's getting nipply out. Did I say nipply? Maybe I should have said nippy. Anyway, it's getting cold, and that means one thing. A lot of guys take advantage of this time of the year to put on size, build some muscle, and get big, you know, and that's cool. But the question always arises, hey, Aaron, can I put on muscle while staying lean? Or can I lose body fat even while building muscle? And the answer is a resounding yes. You can actually build muscle while getting lean. You can actually put on muscle and not put on body fat simultaneously, which contradicts a lot of what people tend to think. A lot of these guys go with this old school approach of I'm just gonna get big and I'm gonna eat. And you know what? You really end up putting on a lot of extra body fat. And you actually don't even put yourself in an optimized environment for building muscle. Truly, an optimum environment for a male to build muscle is when they're around the 10 to 13 or 10 to 14% body fat range. So if you can maintain that body fat percentage, you'll find that your body works more efficiently at building lean tissue. This is because hormones are optimized, chemicals in the body are optimized, just your overall being is optimized to produce lean muscle tissue during that time. So that's something really important to keep your eye on. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you a few quick tips that are gonna help you build muscle while stay lean, okay? So number one, most importantly, is figure out what your daily maintenance intake is. You can do this a lot of ways. There's several equations on the internet. You can go into Google, you can figure out, hey man, what is my daily maintenance intake? And essentially what that is how much your body, how much food or how many calories your body needs daily just to maintain its current physique, its current status, okay? So what I like to do is figure out what that daily maintenance intake is and then add about 100 to 150 calories per day on top of that until the body starts growing. Where do those calories come from? It just depends on what kind of diet you're following, but typically they're gonna come from carbohydrates, clean foods, especially if you're following a basic 60% carb, 30% protein, 10% fat program, which a lot of guys utilize for years for bodybuilding and getting big, and it still works today. So you want those calories to be clean calories. That's most important. And you want to kind of keep track of those calories. So let's say that your daily maintenance is 3,000 calories a day. You start by adding an additional 100 calories and you kind of see what the body does. If the body is growing and you see that after a couple of weeks you're putting on lean muscle tissue, great, stay there. But if you notice that it's not growing or you're just not putting on lean muscle, then you need to bump it up an additional 100 calories. You'd be surprised how many people are not eating enough food. They just kind of think they're eating enough, but they're really not. And it's not till you really track your foods and you put yourself on an app and you start looking at what you're eating on a daily basis that you realize, man, I thought I was eating 3,000 calories, but I'm really like severely under my maintenance caloric intake daily. And because of that, I'm not getting the most out of what I'm doing, out of my training and out of my nutrition and my supplementation. I could be growing at a much faster rate. So keep an eye on that. That's number one. Number two is you want to take a zigzag approach to this whole thing. What I mean by that is, yes, you are going a little bit above maintenance caloric intake. You are putting on muscle, but chances are you're going to put on a tad bit of water and a tad bit of body fat as well. So it's important that maybe every 10 to 12 days you look at your body, do a self-assessment. You can even use an InBody or a body fat analysis machine, see where you're at, and at that point in time, take a little step back, drop your calories down and burn off a little bit of the excess fat and water so that you hold on to the lean muscle tissue, and then you could start the process again. The idea behind that is, let's say you put on 4 or 5 pounds and 2 of that is body fat or water. You can lose that 2 pounds while holding on to that 2 pounds of lean muscle tissue. So we want to continually do that in an upward trend. So at the end of, let's say 12 weeks, you put on 10 to 15 pounds of muscle while minimizing the amount of fat and water that you could have put on during that time too. Again, I call this a zigzag approach. You're basically zigging, zagging, you're putting on muscle tissue, then you're keeping an eye on your body, you're dropping a little body fat, then you're going up again. So it takes a little bit of time to do that, and it takes a little bit of attention to detail. You gotta make sure that you're really keeping track of your body and making sure that you know when, hey, you know what, I need to pull back the reins a little bit. I'm getting a little bit soft. My midsection is pretty much a good indicator of whether I'm putting on body fat or not. And for most males, that seems to be the case as well. So you'll want to pull down a little bit and just say, hey, you know what? Let me get a little bit leaner before going on, okay? The next thing that's really important that most guys are just completely afraid of is keeping cardio in during your bulking phase or during your muscle building phase. A lot of times guys are just completely under the misconception that doing excess cardio or doing cardio while they're trying to put on muscle is going to be counterproductive. They're not going to grow from this. It's going to actually keep them from growing, when in reality, it's going to actually help you build muscle tissue two ways. Number one, it's going to help transport nutrients through the bloodstream to the muscle tissue to make sure and help increase recovery and increase muscle growth. It's great for circulation. Number two, it's going to help keep your body at an optimum energy level. A lot of times when you're eating excess calories and you're growing and you're not doing any cardiovascular work, your just body becomes a little stagnant and slow. So you're going to want to make sure that you are doing cardio at least a minimum of 3 times a week, possibly even 4 times a week. Standard sessions are going to range from 25 to 30 to 35 minutes. I wouldn't say that this is a time you need to be doing high intensity interval cardio, just basic cardio, getting on a treadmill at an incline for about 30 minutes, keeping your heart rate at a level where you could say a few words, then take a few breaths, say a few words, take a few breaths. That's essentially where you want to be. That's going to put you right around 130 to 140 beats per minute, and that's a good, steady pace to help you burn off some of those excess calories that could have been converted to body fat while keeping you lean and at the same time helping stimulate muscle growth or keeping you in a muscle growth phase. So keep cardio in. As much as we don't like it, as much as you say, I don't want to do cardio, do it. It's important. It will help you stay lean and help you build muscle while losing body fat. The next thing I'm going to recommend is the use of what we call a nutrient partitioning agent. Essentially all this is something that's going to help your body utilize carbohydrates more efficiently. It's a compound that taken before food or before your meals will ensure that the carbohydrate is taken, digested properly, and moved into the muscle to be utilized for energy during the next workout. Glucose disposal agents, nutrient partitioning agents like our transport GDA are extremely effective at ensuring that what you're eating is being utilized in the most efficient way possible. Now this is important because when you have a higher caloric intake and you're eating more food and more carbohydrates, your body can either use those carbs or store them as body fat. The nutrient partitioning agents are going to make it more likely that your body uses these carbohydrates for energy, for muscle growth, for recovery. So absolutely imperative that you utilize these during your building phase or your bulking phase. Like I said, Transport GDA is Pureline's version of a nutrient partitioning agent. It's done extremely well for a lot of people, and you can find it on our website at thepureline.com or by clicking the link below in the notes. The last thing I'm going to recommend is something called pulsing branch chain amino acids. Essentially what this means is taking a branch chain amino acid formula like our BCAA links, mixing it in a big jug of water and sipping it throughout the day. Essentially you just want to keep it by your side and maybe in between meals, sip on it so that you're always giving your body a constant steady flow of the amino acids like isoleucine, leucine, valine that are going to help it grow, recover, and get bigger. Just a simple, easy hack that'll ensure that your body is getting absolutely everything that it needs to grow and get bigger while at the same time minimizing body fat. So guys, there's not a lot to it. That's essentially a couple of things that you can do that'll make it a lot easier for you to build muscle without burning fat. And yes, it is possible. If you look back into the 70s when bodybuilders were getting ready for shows, a lot of these guys started small and grew into shows. They got bigger and leaner as a result of following similar ideas and principles. So don't get wrapped around the idea that you have to get big and sloppy to put on muscle tissue. You don't. All you got to do is just follow a few simple rules. Make sure you're eating clean, doing your cardio, using something like a nutrient partitioning agent. All of those things together will help you put on muscle while still staying lean. Guys, if you have any questions, you can always contact us at 1-800-632-1402. And before I forget, I said I was going to give you something for free. If you go down to the notes section, we have a link to something called the 3x6 program. That's a training, a nutrition, and a supplementation program that you can get absolutely for free just by going to the link, putting in your email, and it'll take you to a page. Everything's there. It's a complete system. It's very simple to follow. If you have any questions about it, feel free to email us at info@thepureline.com as well. Guys, I hope you found this video informative. If you did, please share it with your friends, and we hope to see you very soon at one of our stores or online at our online store. We'll talk to you soon, guys. Take care.